to the Anime and Chill podcast. 1, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to the Anime and Chill podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Kakegurui, the first season, and also JoJo's Part 3, Battle in Egypt, right? We finished that, and man, really loving JoJo's. But before we get to JoJo's, we're going to be talking about Kakegurui. So Blue, what were your thoughts on this gambling high school?
I had mixed feelings because it was like, is the main character who? Like, there's Yumiko and then Ryota. Which one's the main character?
I definitely think it's the girl, because the guy, he's just like that typical anime boy, right? It's weird what they do, because she's the most interesting character and definitely and probably has more screen time than him. I don't know.
Like, season 2, I really hope he gets more screen time, or else why is he even there?
Yeah, because he really, I mean, at the end, he kind of did something kind of cool, I guess. He did something, but honestly, there just wasn't really much there for him, to be honest. What did you think about, like, the opening and ending music for the show?
I liked the opening. I enjoy the jazz and the singing. I just really like that type of music. The visuals flowed very well and were very cool with the fish and stuff.
They were insane.
Yeah, the visuals were great.
Yeah, they were something to look at.
The ending. I thought the ending had a nice beat to it. The singing was great too. The visuals were interesting, to say the least. 10 out of 10.
Honestly,
peak
like,
content.
Bro, when the opening would come on, I would just like, it was just so strange to look at.
They knew what they wanted and they went with it.
Yeah, they definitely went for it. That's
And
for sure.
I don't think anyone's complaining.
Yeah, because it's just so unique, honestly. Just the song is pretty chaotic and it kind of slaps. So I get why it's pretty popular. Just the visuals on it were crazy as well. So what do you think about, like, the characters in the show? We talked a little bit about, like, the main characters, which are Yumiko. That's her name, right? Yumiko?
Yeah.
And then the other dude.
Yeah, Yumiko was great. She still confuses me.
Same. Yeah, I don't know, man.
She's very gambling obsessed, which is, I guess, the premise. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, if she's genuinely nice when she's supposed to seem genuinely nice, or if she's just, I don't know. Ryota, again, needs more screen time.
Definitely. So there was those two characters, and then there was, like,
Mary. I think her name was the blonde.
Oh, the blonde hair girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, the blonde. Yeah, she was kind of mean, pretty mean. And then I guess, like, she was okay. Like, I don't know.
Like,
not the best characters.
Some of the faces that she made that first episode, and then the rest of the characters continued to make, were, like, the really weird faces they made when they were being, like, maniacal. I was like,
yeah.
Yo, you just dropped, like, I don't know, like, 50 simps in that 1 second.
Oh my god. And, like, in the first episode, it's really cool. Like, because they played was that the first episode? They played, like, rock, paper, scissors with the cards.
That's such a cool premise.
Yeah, it was really cool. Wasn't she, like, cheating? She was cheating, right?
Yeah, I think all the people in the classroom put a specific amount in or something.
Yeah. That was something that was kind of annoying. It's like, okay, like, it's a gambling school, but it's like everyone's cheating half the time. Not even half, like 70% of the time they're cheating.
I think ways they make I think cheating is also a gamble, because you have to gamble, like, if they're going to see it.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool, yeah.
Cheating's a gamble in itself, basically. So I think, and, like, most people, like, who have gambled for a long time probably have cheated at least once.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I don't know. The characters in the show, Yumiko, she was cool, I guess. Like, she was really good at gambling.
I had no active dislike towards any of the characters, I don't think.
I didn't dislike them.
I mean, they irritated you for, like, the first bit they're in. Other than that one dude. Forgot his name. It was, like, June or something.
Yeah, that dude that like, yeah. And then there was that one girl. That one girl was super, super interesting. The one girl that was like, she had like the gun. She was just walking around with a gun and just wanted to
I love
die.
her. I don't know her name, but she was great.
Yeah, like she was honestly the most like interesting one, to be honest, because it's like she gets super high off that like that gamble, and like
Yeah.
it was just crazy to see. What did you think about like the animation and soundtrack for the show?
I think the animation was really well done. Like
Honestly, yeah, same.
the soundtrack, I liked it. It had a lot of jazzy elements and it fit the scenes most of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't a thing that I like focused on a lot.
Soundtracks are like really like subtle things. Like you can tell whenever they're like they don't fit, but like when they do, it's just like they just have to fit well. And if they don't, it's pretty obvious.
If there's some like real nice bop though in the background, I'll notice it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my god. Like in Cowboy Bebop, I remember just like the background music in there is just so good. It just really fits that vibe of the show.
I have yet to find another show that can top Cowboy Bebop's soundtrack.
I swear, right? So good. Just so good. But yeah, same for the animation. I really liked it. Even though it's like a card, like they're just playing cards and poker half the time, but it's still really, really interesting the way they do it, especially like when they do those faces, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Like, I definitely want to watch season 2, like just to see where it goes, because I'm interested in how the government is letting these children run an entire school.
What is happening in this school? Like, it kind of looks like a like I liked the show. I just I don't think it was. I heard a lot about it, right? And I don't necessarily go into shows with expectations, but I'm like, okay, good amount of people talking about this. Probably a pretty good show.
Like, I have heard some people like really love Yumiko. Like, I think some people's top waifus are Yumiko, and I'm like, she's cool, but out of all the shows I've seen, I don't see how she could top like all of them. I may be wrong. Like maybe season 2, she's like blows everyone away, but who knows?
Like when she did the little cat girl thing, I was like, what? But I was like, okay, that's kind of cute.
I thought that was funny though, because like
it was pretty funny.
She made good of a bad situation.
Yeah, for sure. What did you think about like the whole story of the show? Because there's like the council members, the student council, and yeah. The
story with the whole student council stuff is very interesting. But I feel like if you push away some logics, with the whole, I don't think Japan's government would let children, do this stuff in school, especially, gambling their lives away. But if you push that aside, it's pretty good. Like, student council gives me Kill la Kill vibes a little.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. And it's like, I don't know. We got to see a good amount of the student council. Like, we got to see that one dude that, I don't know his name, but kind of looks like Ida from My Hero Academia.
Oh, that dude. I don't remember his name.
He was just like super smart because he has glasses, I guess.
I felt bad for him. Like, he was a dick, but
Yeah, he just wasn't good enough, I guess, to beat her for some reason, because she's just really good for some reason.
She doesn't do this for a life, does she? Like, did she just, I know
like, no one's that good at gambling. Let's be honest. No one's that good.
I feel like she just has a lot of luck. Unless she's whipping out Star Platinum. No, okay. We're not there yet. Who knows? That could be like part 20 of JoJo.
Oh my god.
See, it's becoming a problem.
JoJo's is a problem, but it's the anime community's problem, and we love it.
Everything's
honestly.
a JoJo's reference.
Oh my god. I think it's a good show. I think it could have been better for sure. Easily could have been better. I don't know. It just like most of the time they were just cheating. Like, let's be honest, they were just cheating.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, this is gonna happen, and then haha, you're cheating, caught you. But then it's like, haha, but we're just gonna take a huge risk. Though
the scenes of that, they were very interesting. Like,
it's not that it wasn't entertaining.
Yeah.
Because it was just like they did a really good job of making it entertaining, and that's the whole point of a show, right? So I guess it does its job, but it's like still at the end of the day, it's sort of like these two people are going to gamble or like play this game, then one of them's cheating, still she wins somehow.
So, I mean, she did lose that one time.
Oh yeah, she did, but even so.
And she did almost lose near the end. I feel like they just shouldn't have put her in and just be this complete OP person. But other than that, I really did enjoy the scenes where, like, it was very tense, you know? Like, because you weren't sure. Like, you kind of had, like, this idea that she was going to win, obviously. But then you had this, like, doubt, like, they gonna flip the tables or something?
Yeah. And I think maybe, like, they should have, like, maybe not almost every single one had to be Yumiko, because it's like, I guess she's the main character, but at the same time, I don't know, it would have been cool to like see somebody lose or like just shake something up a little bit, because it's like,
I really want to see Ryota do something. Please.
Yeah, and he finally did at the end.
Like, he did a little bit of something during Yumiko and the Gun Girls thing with the whole cards, but that's like apprentice level.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. But yeah, what are your final thoughts on the show? Like, what do you think?
Out of, like, I'd say I give it a 7 out of 10, like, overall. It's maybe, I don't know, maybe a 6.5. I don't know. It was enjoyable, but at the same time, there could have been some elements that could have been tweaked.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'd give it like a 6 probably. I think it's slightly above average, to be honest, but it kind of feels like take like a shonen anime, right? You got the student council members, like almost as JoJo's, like all these different stand users, like just like there's the person with like the silver-haired girl, and then there's the smart dude, and then there's like they all have like these different powers, and it's like, and then Yumiko just is super strong for some reason, and she's the main character and she can beat them. That's kind of, it just felt like a shonen skinned with gambling, which is fine because it works. Like, people like the show, and it's not a bad show. It's really good in a lot of aspects, like the just the way they make these poker games so tense, and just like they did a great job with it for sure. Just still think characters could have been better, story could have been a little bit more interesting, logic is kind of off. Just like, how can they just do this? Like, how are children just, not children, but like kids in a high school just claiming ownership over one another? It's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'd recommend it if you're into gambling, I guess.
Like, if you liked the gambling episodes in JoJo's, you might enjoy this. Yeah,
definitely, because it's pretty much the same thing, honestly, except way more tense. But yeah, if you want to watch that is on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, and that was season 1 that we watched. We might watch season 2. But yeah, it's on Netflix if you want to watch it. So moving on, we're going to be talking about JoJo's, the second part of part 3 of JoJo's Battle in Egypt.
Yes.
Man, this was something. I gotta be honest. It was an experience.
It was.
To go through that. What did you think about like the opening and ending for like the new part 2?
The opening,
part 2, whatever.
The opening visuals were great, and I really liked the song as well. I still really like part 2's song and stuff like that. I don't know why.
It's like, I think it's better, honestly.
But I also like what they did with when the opening changes around episode 47. Like with the time stopping and stuff like that. I also really enjoy like when they add sound effects to the opening, the final time it plays. Yes. It's like very much more immersive. The ending, I liked the visuals. The song was much different compared to the others, but I liked it.
Yeah, it really was. I liked it too. Yeah.
It made me the big sad at the end of part 3.
Yeah.
And the photo at the end was great. It also made me tear up.
Oh, bro, when they walk away, I was like, the boys, no.
Boys, man.
In the first half, right, I liked it. I think it does kind of like, there's no doubt it turns into stand user of the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they do it pretty good. They like to go on such a huge adventure and trying to introduce all these different villains with different abilities. They do a great job of like shaking up the fights because of how the stand users are all so different. They do a really good job of that. But going back to like the opening and ending, the ending was a lot different from like the other ones, and the other ones like slap so hard. So it's not that, I don't think they were trying to up those, but this one's a lot more, definitely not one of my favorites, but it does its job, right? But let's move on to like the characters.
Oh, wait. The Oingo Boingo endings were great.
Oh my god, I loved those. I was just like the visuals on those things. Like, what is with those?
I was like, yo, they did all this work for one episode.
Yeah, no, there was two, right?
Yeah, but they
Because
were two different ones.
God.
Because they replaced
Yeah.
one of them with Whole Horse, and I was like, yo, it's low key slap.
Yeah, they really did. And like just the visuals on them, just the way that that Stan User's comic just looks, just yikes, man. Like that just looks so weird. And I love it. I just love it. So moving on, like let's talk about like the characters, like that character. That little, what was his stand? It was like Thoth or something, Toth or something. He's like
I think it was Thoth.
He like weaves fate or something with like this little comic, and it's like so, that's just like so good, and they did it so well because like there's so much comedy in it, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like super serious like most of the ones they try to do. Like
JoJo's humor is really good.
it really is, and it's shocking how good it is, to be honest. When Polnareff gets turned to a baby by that dude, I was like, what is happening? I love this. Whatever's happening, I love this.
Like, you should have seen my Snapchat story. Every 5 minutes, I was like taking pictures of baby Polnareff, being like, this is the most adorable episode I've seen.
Oh my god, bro.
Baby Polnareff gave me life for 3 days.
I thought him and her were gonna end up together, though. That kind of made me sad. I was like, damn, they're not gonna end up together. Him and
I felt like it would have been a little weird. I liked supportive Jotaro at the end. Hand on the shoulder, being a bro. But Polnareff is probably like my favorite character of this part. Him and Joseph are probably tied, honestly,
Same.
at this part.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, because I wasn't a big fan of Polnareff, like, in the beginning of, because they end up fighting him, like, they fight him and then he joins, right? That's how they first meet.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, who's this dude? He looks kind of goofy. Look at his hair. But then it's just like,
this dude.
Yeah, just look at this dude. Like, look at him. And it just, you just love him, honestly. By the end of this, you just love Polnareff.
Yeah, like,
he's just a real one, bro.
I never
Just
thought
so
I'd
good.
like Polnareff. I saw his character design and I was like, he's probably not the type of character that I'd like. But over time, it was just like, you know, Polnareff, he kind of cool, you know? And then, like, now, Polnareff, man.
He's the comedy of the show, like the main comedy. Like Joseph's there as well, but it's like, it's really those two, just Joseph and Polnareff are just like the main comedy.
Polnareff, like, he even had like his serious moments. Like, he knew when there was a stand nearby. He was just growing over time because before he was completely oblivious. And then after certain events, I don't really want to say much, he just kind of like matured himself, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what I love. Like, he had the most, he was the most developed character out of everyone, out of Jotaro, who's quote unquote the main character.
Yeah.
Like, because like how much we see of Polnareff is crazy, and how we see him like deal with the deaths that happen, and like he just gets so emotional about it, and like you can't not love him, like, the way he reacts to those.
Every episode I was like, this is gonna be the episode where we finally learn, like, hear more from Jotaro. Nope, it's Polnareff again, but I'm not complaining. And then I'm like, the next episode, okay, Jotaro, Polnareff, all right, here we go. And like, Jotaro is probably also like below them. I don't know. Below that is also Avdol and Kakegurui. Kakegurui definitely deserved more screen time. I always say that. Screen time. He did not need any more screen time.
He did not.
Avdol, like, I liked Avdol. He was pretty dope. Iggy.
Abdul was pretty dope.
Iggy.
Oh, the dog
Iggy.
thing.
I really wish Iggy had
Yeah.
more screen time.
Yeah, same. The poor dog.
I mean,
No.
I loved him after a little while. Like, he grew on me. He was a little shit, but
Yeah.
I really wanted
He was.
I really wanted to see him and Polnareff become bros.
Yeah. I mean, technically they did, right?
I mean, yeah.
In a way. I mean, how more bro can you get
Also-
than that? Than what happened?
Yeah.
He literally saved him.
Also, what the hell is with JoJo's and dogs?
I don't know.
Like,
know.
I'm pretty like. Ugh.
Just like honestly, like all the characters that they introduced end up being pretty good. Like Kakegurui, definitely one of the weaker per se, but at the same time, he was there for the adventure. He helped out, and not everyone can have so much screen time. Like Jotaro hardly got, like we hardly know much about Jotaro in a lot of ways, other than he's just this edge lord, right? That will just beat up anyone, and he's super strong. But like someone like Kakegurui, someone like Abdul, in terms of like a story, in terms of like creating a story, you can't do much better. You can't really do much better with having that many characters. Like there's, you know what I mean? Because yeah, they're not the greatest. Like they could have been better, but at the same time, how could they have been better? Because there's only so much content to go around in terms of like screen time and character development. Not everyone can get that unless you're making like One Piece, I guess. But yeah.
I've seen a lot of people's favorite character is Kakegurui. I'm like, I
Yeah.
understand it, but at the same time, like, and he deserves it. Like, the man's, he deserved to be, like, someone's favorite character. Like,
He does.
like, my friend, she was texting me, and she, like, everything was Kakegurui.
Oh my
and
god.
I can definitely see it. Like, he's probably one of the smarter of the group.
Yeah.
And the screen time he did have was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Also, Avdol, I really wish he had more screen time. I don't know. Screen time! English. Avdol had more screen time because I really liked his Stan.
Yeah, I really loved his stand, especially like when they first introduced it in the first part. I was like, yo, who is this dude with the Firebird just showing up?
Like a magician's red. Like,
I would have loved to see him more, like fight with it more, but
did you watch it in sub or dub?
dub. I had to. I just,
Well,
yeah.
I switched
know.
over to the dub while I was drawing for like a couple episodes, and Avdol's voice actor is one of my favorite voice actors. Like, I personally,
really
I thought
good.
the dub was pretty bad, but I hear
yeah,
Chris.
it's not the greatest.
I hear Chris Turgalafera, and my head just whips out or whips up, and I'm like, Gundam, is that you?
Oh my
Chris?
god. Oh yeah, it is Gundam Tanaka, right? It's
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
And I'm like, the supreme leader of ice.
Yeah. I haven't watched the subbed because like I mean I know the sub's better. Like everyone says you need to watch JoJo's subbed and it's like I want to. But at the same time it's just like I'm usually like doing something, as I said. And plus like I really like to see their performances. That just, that's just what I like to do. So unless
Like-
it's like an airing show, I usually won't watch subbed.
I'm
most of
probably
the
going
time.
to go back and watch in the dub for the excuse to rewatch JoJo's.
Mhm.
But normally, it's really weird for me because I can just glance up the TV and like speed read the subtitles, and I can be doing two things at once. If I'm like really having to focus on something else, I can just
I mean, I
have
can
to have
do
the dub
that.
on.
It's just like so usually here's the biggest reason why I don't. It's like I want to hear their performances, like the English voice actors, and I also want to like when a show's so long, I'm just like, bro, come on, I just gotta throw on the dub. I can't, like if I was to watch One Piece, I'm not watching the sub. I just can't.
Okay, the dub for One Piece isn't that bad actually,
Yeah,
because I started One Piece in the dub, I think.
yeah, but if I were like to catch up to like One Piece and I could watch one subbed episode of it a week. It's just to watch so many episodes. Like when I watch Naruto, surprise, surprise, I'm not watching 500 episodes subbed. Like, I can't do that. I genuinely can't. I don't have the time for it. But yeah, I know the sub's better because everyone says it, but maybe I'll rewatch a show one day.
I mean, there are cases where they're equal, because for My Hero Academia, I feel like the dub's really, really good for that.
Oh, yeah. The dub's really good for My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Funimation does a really good job with the dubs there. I don't know who did this dub for JoJo's, but
I don't know.
But yeah.
I just feel like the dub for JoJo's didn't, like, when I heard the voices, it just didn't hit.
Yeah, and see, that's the biggest thing, because I haven't even watched the sub. I don't really look up anime clips, so I don't know their voices in sub. But if I did, I know that they would be inferior. In the same way that, like, Demon Slayer. I love Demon Slayer. So good. And I watched it subbed. And the English voices, God, it was just like, when I first heard them, I was just like, God, that's awful.
I'm just
that's not
they,
it. That's...
the people dubbing it, they're trying their best. But, you know, I feel like it's just the people, they don't cast properly, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably move on.
Yeah, probably.
Before someone in the comments is like, sub is always...
I mean, honestly, I don't care what you watch, as long as you're, you know, just watch what you want to watch.
It's called Watch and Learn Japanese, like, so you can watch it 3 times with an excuse.
I mean, does it really help you learn Japanese, though?
No, like,
Kind of.
learn
Maybe
Japanese first, and then watch it without like, watch it in Japanese without the subtitles, watch it with the subtitles, and watch it in English, so you can just watch it 3 times with an excuse.
Yes. So the story of, what's this called? Battle in Egypt. So they get to Egypt finally, and then they fight some dudes, and then let's just skip to the part where they find Dio's hideout. I'm pretty sure, right? They find his hideout. And then they fight that one guy. Who was the doorkeeper? Who was that guy?
Darby.
Yes, Darby.
The younger one. Younger.
Oh yeah, he
Darby.
was the video game guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kakegurui actually did something there in that fight, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Kakegurui did something. Wow. No.
Yes. I mean, it's more of a thing like, it's like, okay, is it Polnareff or is it Joseph or?
I really wish Kakegurui won that.
Yeah, I do too. Cause then like he took his soul or something. I kind of forgot what happened. Can't remember.
We're trying really hard not to spoil stuff, but we do it anyways.
Should we spoil it? I mean, but it's like I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't spoil it.
But yeah, for the entirety of Battle in Egypt, the plot's basically the same, but the monster of the week, I think it got a little better because they started doing like 2-parters. Like,
yeah, it definitely got better. It
wasn't like just one episode knock off the opponent. It's like it takes 2 episodes. So it's the same opponent. They stick around for a little while and they're like, "Pwacha."
Yeah, there's a little bit more like tenseness to like the fights, because it's like, oh, part 1, part 2, what's about to happen. Like, one episode was like titled "The Pet Shop Part 1" or something like that, and it was Iggy fighting some bird thing.
Yo, in JoJo's you got everything.
Honestly, you get everything in JoJo's. They just do such a great job at, like, as I said, like the stand users, such a good job at just like making them so diverse and different. Like the Toth dude that weaves fate in this stupid little comic book that looks so dumb. And I kind of like what happened to him, right? Like he kind of turned things around. That one guy, the one kid.
Then Iggy was like, nah.
Do we want to talk about like the final fight, or what do you think?
The final fight was great.
It really was. It really was.
Okay, the intensity of that was on par with the gambling thing, because for some reason I was really tense during the gambling scenes with Darby, and then the Dio scenes made me really tense, especially the ones with Polnareff and Iggy and Avdol.
Yes.
I was like, if Polnareff dies, I'm not watching JoJo's anymore.
That Polnareff fight was so good. So good.
When the certain cliffhangers happened, I was sitting there like, no.
Yeah, same. I thought he was out of there, honestly. I did. And I was like, dang, The
worst part is I know he's gonna die at some point because it's JoJo's.
Yeah, but luckily it's like, maybe he'll go out like Joseph, right? Like, Joseph probably isn't gonna die horribly. We can at least say that, right?
I hope
like
Joseph
he would have by now. He would have by now. So at least maybe
Dude, Joseph-
Polnareff will get a good send off, like on his
Joseph
deathbed.
is immortal, I swear.
Going back to like just that whole last 2 to 3 episodes, maybe 4, including that Polnareff fight, so freaking good, man. Unfortunately, there's one thing that kind of annoyed me, and I don't want to like kind of spoil it.
Should we do a segment where we just put a timestamp in so we can like cover spoilers? Okay.
All right. So if you don't want to be spoiled about the ending of JoJo's Part 3 Battle in Egypt, I would say skip to whatever timestamp there is right now, I guess. Yeah.
Spoiler time!
So Dio versus Jotaro.
The world.
The world.
No, there's something I drew. I was doing an assignment for class, and it had to be like we had to draw an armadillo. So I drew an armadillo juggling the world, and then I was like, there is an option that I can take here, and I'm gonna do it. So I drew Dio's face on the globe, and I called it the Armadillo.
Armadillo. I was gonna say, like, if you didn't do the Armadillo, I was gonna be mad because that's the perfect opportunity.
It was.
The Armadillo. The final fight was just so tense. Like when he did that to Joseph, I was like, no.
I was like, okay, Dio's a lot weaker than I thought he'd be. Not gonna lie. Like he does have an OP ass freaking, battling like a normal person, he would obviously win. But over, I really like his stand. He's not completely OP. I think it's just circumstances.
I mean, if he had more time to like whatever, apparently he could have paused time for longer or something. So maybe it would have been even more OP. But you could only do 5 seconds at that point in time. So yeah, but yeah, like the fight was pretty good. It was a good fight. I didn't think it was like the amazing fight, but it was definitely good. And the way it all unfolded, Polnareff jumped in there, tried to help. But the one thing was just like really the fact that books, like these books that Jotaro stuffed in his clothes, are the reason that he won the fight. Like what?
Well, Jotaro, like
books.
I mean,
books.
I feel like they were like thick magazines because you can like
It's just the
like,
fact that like I can believe books. The magazine stopped it, but the thing is that he put those in there, and it's just like they were just chilling there.
Well, it's probably like he's a kid, like sad, like hard to believe. So I mean, I feel like it's something like he would be able to come up with, because I feel like if there's a situation in where you could possibly be stabbed and you don't know what the enemy's like power is, you might want to prepare for that. I feel like it would have been, I don't know.
I agree. Yeah.
It's really hard to find a reason why, but you could probably potentially like think like, oh, I'm going to battle with someone who I don't know if can stab me or not. So I'm just going to shove really thick things down my shirt. Yeah. I mean, books. That sentence sounded weird.
If you're ever going to fight the strongest person in the world, make sure to stuff like books in your clothes so you don't get stabbed. See, learn from Jotaro. JoJo's teaches us many things like that.
Very.
Just stuff magazines down your pants.
And then you were
pants,
OP.
but,
I mean...
Yeah. I was like really surprised that like, because honestly, Dio's overpowered. Like he can stop time, right? Like that's the most broken thing you can do. Yeah. And I mean, Jotaro was able to, move for like a second within that time. Yeah,
because they have the same type of stand, which makes sense. So
yeah, so that makes sense. So I mean, luckily he was able to, or else he would be screwed, right? I mean, he would probably just be dead.
Yeah. I can see many events in which Dio could have won the fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just such a, like, he can literally pause time. Like, it's just like, honestly, how did he screw that up? You can pause time. You can literally pause time and move within time. And it's just like, how did you screw that up, Dio? Come on now. But,
it's like,
yeah.
Though, if you are that OP and you can find out that your opponent can, like, even for like 2 seconds, like counteract that, you're going to be a little like cautious, obviously. So his cautiousness kind of got the better of him.
Yeah. Because honestly, he could have just paused time again and then like threw knives at him again, and then he would have won probably. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But this is JoJo's.
Yeah, but this is JoJo's. And like, gosh, when he stole Joseph's blood and like he just started turning into a maniac, that was crazy.
Dude, I thought Joseph died right then, and I was sitting there crying.
Oh my god.
I was like, I don't normally cry that much in anime, but then it's just like you get so attached to like certain characters. It's just
That's
like
what I love about JoJo's. It's like
what?
It was such like an adventure, really. Like these 2 seasons. Like maybe I didn't enjoy the first one all that much, but still I was there for it, and like it happened. I watched it, and it's like, you know, going to this season, like to see some people die, right? It's like, man, it just sucks. It just sucks.
Like you march through the bad and you get to the good, and then you get to the real good.
Yeah.
And then like,
thankfully, Polnareff did not die though. Gosh, couldn't go with that, honestly.
One of my favorite scenes of that fight is when like Dio gets his like what's his arm chopped off, and he like looks to the woman. He's like, "Pick that up for me, peasant."
Oh my god, bro! I just can't believe he lost that. Like, come on, bro. That is just crazy. But honestly, it was really, really well done. Like, I just get it, you know. I just get JoJo's now. I get why people really, really love the show.
Yes.
It's freaking epic. Like, all the different stands. Dio got clapped, but still, like, Dio just as a character is so interesting, honestly.
Yeah. Do we have any favorite episodes?
Honestly, I really like the baby one when Polnareff gets turned to a baby.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
Other than that one, I also really liked the episodes with the silver-haired girl Mariah with the magnetic thing. That had me laughing way too hard than it should have.
That is my favorite one. Because I remember thinking, this is my favorite scene in all of JoJo's. Whenever him and Abdul.
It was like 12 a.m. and I couldn't
like,
take it.
Bro, that was so good. Like, that was so good.
And I was just like, what the? I was just sitting there like, Joseph.
Only Joseph would have to go through that. Oh my god.
Like that scene was so unexpected with like Avdol too.
Cause like it was already super sus. Like when they were like his face was on his crotch, but then they upped that, and then Avdol was like, "Oh my god, bro!"
And the boys sitting in the back in silence. I expect this from Polnareff and Joseph, but no, you had to get Avdol in there. And
I did not expect Avdol to have to go through that. Oh my god!
It's just like the boys just watch it, and the old lady coming out of nowhere.
The old lady, when the old lady showed up. Oh my god, dude, that episode was so good.
I was sitting there crying and laughing because I was so tired, and I was just trying to process all of these events.
That was peak JoJo right there. Like, that's just the greatest. Like, if you had to watch an episode that could sum up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it would be that.
I just realized you're in the dub and you don't get to hear Joseph's like breaking out of Japanese and screaming in English.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and son of a bitch.
I will say the English voice actor for Joseph, when he says, like, oh my god, when he screams that, it is so good. It is very, very good. But it's clearly not as good as the sub.
Dude, I'm going to have to find a video and send you, like, the clips of every time Japanese Joseph, like, breaks
he
out
like
of
breaks Japanese. Because I did hear that. Like, he breaks... he turns into, like,
so
broken
good.
English or something. English.
It's so funny. Like,
yeah.
It's great.
Oh God,
like the freaking old lady, and he's like, oh my god.
Bro, I swear that episode was so funny. I just can't get over that episode. That is my favorite episode.
It has such good comedy.
It does. Like, it really, really does. And it's got good action. It's like, it's honestly one of the best shows, like in terms of like the action, the comedy, the like just adventure of it all. Like there's so many different enemies and stuff. Like it's just such a interesting show. Like it's like, very bizarre, honestly.
It's slowly getting up my list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame anyone for really loving this show because it's hilarious. It's got really cool action. It's got a pretty good story.
The JoJo's references now.
Yes.
Like, I will look back on old things and I'm like, that's a JoJo's reference.
Oh my god.
I'm like, everything is a JoJo's reference.
Yeah, I guess that's our thoughts on part 3, Battle in Egypt. Just, if you haven't watched JoJo's, I mean, you clearly, I guess, have if you're listening to this. Yeah. But like, I mean, watch it. Like, it's a dope show, honestly. So funny. Action's great. It's so good. So freaking good. Yeah, so next episode, we're going to be watching JoJo's Part 4, and we're going to be talking about that, right? Mm-hmm. What is happening there? Like, do you know anything about it? Because I know nothing. I know Josuke.
Not
right?
really.
Like, I love his hair.
But I do know there's Josuke. I mean, his hair's interesting. I haven't really seen that. I've been trying to stay as far away from any spoilers as possible.
Oh yeah, same.
One question is, do you think Dio's actually dead?
You know, I would hope so. But I don't know.
I do too, but I feel like there's one possibility. And then I see a bunch of stuff, like I've seen a couple stuff with Dio and this white-haired guy as well, who's not introduced yet. So I don't understand how there can be content of that if Dio's, actually gone.
Because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because like Dio, like the way he went out, it was a good fight. He gave it, but at the same time, I could have seen it go a little bit further. Like,
and I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Joseph did seem a little sus after that. I really hope that he's not actually like,
oh my god,
like just acting. Like the way Joseph looked at like pulling the ref into them, like the last couple minutes, I was like, Joseph, what's going on, my dude?
Yeah, like it was sus, honestly.
Yeah, like I was just like, oof.
Please don't.
Do you think Dio had a kid or something before?
Possibly. That's possible.
Possibly. Because, what's his name with the blonde hair, the swirlies from another part? I don't know what his name is. Giorno? No. Maybe.
Yeah, Giorno.
He's blonde.
Yeah, he looks
that's all
like
I'm
Dio.
going off. It's all I'm going off.
That's what I was wondering because I've seen Giorno, just he's like the biggest thing about that part. Like he's really popular, and I'm just like, this dude looks like Dio, but he's like a good guy in that part, right? I mean, I don't know much about JoJo's, especially at the time of seeing him, but I'm just like, he looks like Dio, but he's not a bad guy. Interesting.
I've seen drawings of him with them together as well. I don't know. This is me just going off speculation.
No, I'm pretty sure you're right. Like, I'm pretty sure Dio's not gone, and he's gonna be back in some way. Whether that's his kid, whether that's him, who knows?
I don't get it. Like, the only two JoJo's that I know of at this point, from other than this, is Jolene and Joe's. What's the next JoJo for Part 4? His name, Josuke.
Josuke.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. How many characters do you think are gonna be tagging along?
There's gonna be a lot. I don't know if they're gonna all necessarily be tagging along, but I have seen like a little bit. There's like this one kid. I think it's Part 4. It might be Part 5. I don't know. I don't really know much about the newer parts, but yeah.
Is Bruno in this part?
I've heard of that name though. If I saw him, maybe I could tell you.
Like guy with like he has like cow print kind of.
Oh, is that the
he
one
has,
dude?
Like a bob, maybe.
Oh wait, I think that dude's in Part 5. The one dude.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know how many parts of JoJo's is animated.
Part 4 and then Part 5 and then Part 6 is coming out next year, maybe. I don't know.
I can't wait. I'm gonna end up reading it. Not gonna lie.
I mean, honestly, I heard the manga was really, really good. So I mean.
Yeah, like I seen like my friend sent me like pictures of the manga, and they did like Kakyo and dirty.
Did they?
Like, just meaning like he looks a lot better in the manga apparently.
But yeah, next episode we're watching JoJo's part 4. Maybe something else will be in the next episode. We don't necessarily know yet, but definitely part 4. So stick around for that. So thanks for listening. We love you, and we're out.
Bye.